Welcome back to the Comic Book Savant YouTube channel. I'm your host, James Harris. In this episode, we had Spider-Man Far From Home that recently hit the theaters. I thought it would be a good time to do another recommended reads episode, but this is going to be recommended reads Spider-Man, giving you some of my favorite books for you to check out if you're coming out of the movie and want to know more about Spider-Man. So here we go. First recommendation I would have is SpiderMan Blue. This is a great story done by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, a part of their Marvel Blue series of books that they've done. This is a wonderful story going back in kind of the history of Spider-Man between the death of Gwen Stacy and Peter meeting Mary Jane, and it covers kind of that historical point in Spider-Man's history. Great story, wonderful artwork. Can't recommend it enough. And if you haven't checked out the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale colored series, definitely do so. They're wonderful books. This is just one of a handful that they did over at Marvel for you to check out. I'm not going to go into it right now, all of them out. If you guys are interested in more background or more reviews on those, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do a whole episode just dedicated to their collaborations together. They did work at Marvel and DC. But next up on the list, I would have to say, is Craven's Last Hunt. This is a monumental story in Spider-Man's history where he has this very important storyline, very dark storyline concerning Craven the Hunter. I don't want to spoil anything. This is an epic story. It's been collected in multiple formats. Probably the best deal or the best way to get the story now. They have an epic collection that includes Craven's Last Hunt in it, and that probably is the best collection. They did multiple trades and reprintings of it because this is a very, very pivotal story in Spider-Man's history. But you should be seeing the picture here or here in the corner on what the cover is, and I'll put the epic collection up, and I'll have links to everything that I'm recommending down in the bottom. So if you're interested in picking any of the stuff up that I'm talking about, you'll have links to find it. But like I said, the epic collection is probably the best collection and the most recent printing collected edition of this storyline in the epic collection. So that probably would be the one you would want to pick up. But if you do find individual trades for Craven the Last Hunt, you won't go wrong as long as you get the story. Next up are three different books that I want to recommend. They're in one writer's run on Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, which is JMS. He had a huge run, I want to say mid 2000s to late 2000s on Spider-Man. Not all of it was great. He did a lot of things to switch the mythos surrounding Spider-Man around that I really enjoyed. A lot of it got undone towards the end of his run, which it kind of tails off because he had a lot of creative differences with Marvel and the editors that he was working with, and he was forced to do some stuff that he didn't like, and it led into the debacle that we all know, which is One More Day. That was kind of a really dark time in Spider-Man comics. But during JMS's run, he had a really good stretch with John Romita Jr. doing the artwork, and then later on with Mike Deodato Jr. doing the artwork. So they have collected a lot of JMS's run via Amazing Spider-Man by JMS books 1, 2, and 3. One of the really good storylines, he introduced a character called Morlan, and he also created and introduced a character called Ezekiel. These three books covers the arc of those storylines with some really good other stories in there as well. So I wanted to make sure I encompassed the whole run. So to get all those storylines, you had to buy books 1, 2, and 3. They're massive collections that you get, I think, about close to 20 some issues per book. So you get a lot of value packed in. Right now, you should be seeing this video, if I'm not mistaken, it's a lot of sales right now because of Far From Home being out on different outlets that you can find these individual trades and books that I'm recommending on sale in correlation with the movie. Comixology has had a massive digital sale, and just different retailers. One I can recommend as well is InStockTrades.com. Shout out to them. Been a long time sponsor of my podcast as well as these YouTube videos as well. They have great discounts also on Amazon. But like I said, everything that I'm mentioning will be included. I'll have links down below to help you find these books if you're looking to pick them up as well. And last but not least, I have to say you can't have a recommended reads episode and not recommend Ultimate Spider-Man, the whole run. I mean, you can't go wrong. Brian Michael Bendis, Sarah Pacelli, their original run, then the introduction of Miles Morales and the continuation of the book. Just great reading. So it's no one particular trade. Just start with trade one. I think it's Great Power and Responsibility is the name of the first Ultimate Spider-Man trade, and just go on through there. I'm not sure if they're collected in omnibus form, but you would just kind of probably to start out to see if you like it. I think it's some of the best Spider-Man and pure Spider-Man stories. A lot of the MCU characters are based off their ultimate counterparts. So this is worth picking up for a read. It ran for quite a long time. And like I said, it was, you had the Peter Parker, then you also had Miles Morales taking over in the Ultimate Universe of Spider-Man. All of it is good reads. And if you watch something like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and seeing Miles Morales in his background, definitely dive into the later Ultimate Spider-Man featuring Miles Morales, to get his origin stories as well. But the whole series of Ultimate Spider-Man, anything you can pick up is just beautiful, fun reading. So these are just a handful of recommendations that I'm giving to you guys for you to check out if you come out of Far From Home or even Avengers Endgame, or if you just recently saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and you want more Spider-Man. These are just some recommendations I can throw out to you guys to get you started on the path of finding out more about the character and their roots in comics. So definitely, I hope this is helpful. Let me know down below in the comment section if these episodes are helpful. They come from recommendations from you guys in the comment selection on certain things that you want me to feature and follow in these episodes. So I'm always open. So if it's a character that you want to know more about their comic book roots, let me know, and I will include it in an upcoming episode. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click the subscribe button down below. If you have subscribed, click the bell notification so you can be notified when new episodes drop on the channel. Also, make sure you smash that like button as well. That helps me a ton with the channel. That's all I really have for you guys for this episode. I also do a podcast as well. So I post the most recent episodes of the podcast here on the YouTube channel. But if you want to listen to it on the go, it is listed on iTunes. You'll see down here in the lower thirds a link to the iTunes feed, so you can subscribe to it there as well. So that's all I have for you guys for this episode. Until next time, you guys stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.